some ground for sale. And if you don't look at it, maybe later on you will be sorry. It's one of these things you should have, you could have. So we'll go meet him and see what we can do.
Tony Beets crushed every rival, setting an unmatched record by hauling in a jaw-dropping $1.2 million in gold. But behind this staggering success, chaos and setbacks loomed, threatening to derail the ambitious season. Meanwhile, Paradise Hill's triumphant output turned the tide, propelling the season's total to over 2,500 ounces. Tune in to see how Tony's relentless drive and game-changing decisions left competitors scrambling, crushing goals and setting records. The Indian River team was struggling with some issues this week. Loose boxes were giving trouble, and without Tony physically present, things seemed calmer, but not without hiccups. While the team held together, Tony kept checking in, constantly calling for updates like a hawk watching its nest. The radio kept buzzing, and it's clear that Tony's remote management style wasn't going unnoticed. Just as they regained focus, an unexpected voice crackled over the radio, freezing everyone in place. This week's goal was ambitious: 2,500 ounces, half of the season's ultimate goal. The team needed the wash plants to run smoothly to achieve this, starting with the shaker rig. Unfortunately, this setup only managed to run for half a day. The result? Only 15 ounces worth $50,000. It's a disappointing result for the entire effort.
I thought I better come home and see how far Monica is getting along, because right now that is the only plant running, so that's the only place we're going to get some gold from.
Barely covering basic fuel costs, let alone making a dent in its larger goals. At Paradise Hill, the focus was on Mike's drum. Unlike the setbacks at Indian River, this facility was ready to go, and the results spoke for themselves. As the gold poured in, the weighing numbers climbed: 20 ounces, 40 ounces, 100 ounces, and so on. In the end, the drum delivered a solid 233 ounces, worth over $350,000. That's what you call a good day in the gold mining world. Definitely a boost to morale in the week's totals. Indian River wasn't ready to stay in Paradise Hill's shadow for long. His cousin Mike took the lead and ran another wash plant on the site. This time, the results were far more impressive. The numbers climbed steadily: 10 ounces, 20 ounces, 60 ounces, 100 ounces. When the final tally came in, they had racked up 223 ounces, valued at a whopping $580,000. It was a solid bow of redemption for a site that had started the week on shaky ground. With all of these weigh-ins combined, Tony's team reached a season total of 2,588 ounces in just 10 weeks. That's officially more than half of the season's ambitious 5,000-ounce goal. To put it in context, these numbers aren't just about gold. They're about staying ahead of the competition, covering massive operating costs, and proving that Tony Beets still reigns supreme in the gold mining game.
We're pushing that pump to the limit right now, but we're getting pay dirt through the plant, and everything's going as planned. We're going to keep pushing the limits, keep putting that gold through the plant.
Of course, mining isn't just about getting gold out of the ground. It's also about managing money to keep those wash plants running. Tony knows the game well. The more gold you get, the more you have to reinvest back into the operation. With the way the season is shaping up, it will take tight management and a few more weeks of solid performance to ensure that not only break-even is achieved, but that the profits are made that make all the effort worthwhile. With 2 or 3 plants running at full throttle, the 5,000-ounce target appears to be within reach. It's a high-stakes race, and Tony's team is proving it has what it takes to stay on top. Tony's team set the bar high, but others face trials that could make or break them. Redemption and risk in the Klondike. Fred Lewis hit the Klondike, chasing gold dreams with everything he had left to his name. The stakes, monumental. His first season in Oregon netted only 6 ounces, so this was make or break time. With the Klondike's gold-rich terrain as his battleground, he pushed to prove that he and his team had what it took to be real miners. The work wasn't glamorous. Every day meant feeding dirt into the sluice, chasing even the tiniest flakes of gold. But the struggle was relentless. Equipment breakdowns became the norm, and fixing them wasn't a quick job. When the excavator's track gave out, JB, a former Army mechanic, stepped in to handle the kind of nightmare he'd seen too often in the military. Imagine trying to fix a bike chain, except this chain weighed a ton, literally. After wrestling with it, they finally got the machine back in action. After a grueling week, Fred paused operations to weigh his first haul. He needed this win badly. The numbers rolled in slowly, 1 ounce, then another. When the scales hit 8.5 ounces, it was a moment of triumph. That single week had already beaten his entire first season's total. The payoff didn't come easy. It was all sweat and grit. But Fred's gamble was starting to show promise. Meanwhile, Rick Ness faced his own uphill battle. With winter tightening its grip, he needed 27 ounces to reach his season's goal of 1,000. His wash plant sat idle, frozen pay dirt was piling up, and time was running out. Out of options, Rick called in his secret weapon, his dad, a heavy equipment pro with over 3 decades of experience. Together, they targeted a new cut, hoping it would hold just enough thawed dirt to push them over the edge. As the crew scrambled to make the most of their remaining time, setbacks kept coming. Frozen dirt clogged the wash plant, and every attempt to clear it risked damaging the machinery. With nerves frayed, they powered through, dislodging the blockages and running every last bucket of pay dirt. When the final tally came, it was a nail-biter.
It had to be done.
It's a lot more fuel efficient and everything like that.
So fuel efficient that we forgot to fuel it. By all rights, we should have been down all week, if not longer.
The scales confirmed they had done it. 1,000 ounces, worth close to $60,000. The entire crew's hard work paid off in spades. Then there was Tony Beets, a veteran miner betting on a piece of history to secure his fortune. He'd rebuilt a century-old dredge, investing over $1 million in the hope it could churn through dirt more efficiently than modern equipment. The massive machine, powered by a single engine and requiring just 2 operators, looked like something out of a bygone era. But Tony believed it was the key to striking it big. After painstakingly reassembling the dredge on his claim, Tony fired it up for the first time in 30 years. The old beast roared to life, buckets scooping dirt and rocks with a rhythmic clatter. It wasn't all smooth sailing. The bucket line slipped, grinding everything to a halt. With some quick thinking and heavy equipment, they got it back on track and running again. The dredge pulled in 21 ounces in its first run, proving it still had what it took. Over the next few seasons, the machine delivered record-breaking hauls, pulling in nearly 6,000 ounces in 2022 alone, worth over $10 million. Parker Schnabel, one of the youngest miners on the scene, faced the kind of challenge that could make or break his career. He poured over $4 million into a deep cut he called Mud Mountain. 60 feet deep and 4 times richer than his other claims, it was a high-stakes bet, but the initial returns were dismal. After weeks of effort, they had just over 300 ounces, a fraction of what was needed to break even. Desperate to salvage the season, Parker made a risky call. He decided to run the hard bedrock beneath the pay layer, a move that put immense strain on his equipment. The heavy material wreaked havoc on the machinery, snapping bolts and causing endless breakdowns. But Parker's team kept pushing, repairing the damaged equipment and running the bedrock through the wash plant.
So we're gonna have to weigh in grams because this scale only does normal ounces, not troy ounces and grams. So we're gonna have to divide this by 31.1.
When the results finally came in, the gamble paid off big. The scales revealed a haul of nearly 500 ounces, worth over $800,000. It was the largest single cleanup in his operation's history. Over the remainder of the season, Mud Mountain continued to deliver, bringing in over 3,000 ounces and pushing Parker's total to more than 8,000 ounces for the year. It was his best season yet, cementing his reputation as one of the top miners in the business. The miner's relentless drive led to astonishing feats. Fred Lewis managed to turn his fortunes around, securing a foothold in the Klondike. Rick Ness's determination paid off as his crew pushed past every hurdle to hit their ambitious target. Tony Beets' dredging experiment brought an old legend back to life, proving that some traditional methods could still rival modern technology. And Parker Schnabel's daring bedrock strategy ensured his team's efforts weren't wasted, pushing him to a record-breaking season. Breaking ground brought breakthroughs for some, while others unearthed deeper challenges. Modern methods meet old riches. Freddie and his team decided to check out Chad's mine, located on an old claim loaded with history. Chad's family had owned the place for about 4 years, but the setup wasn't exactly inspiring confidence. Hard rock mining is tricky, expensive, dangerous, and not always rewarding. The mine itself had a web of tunnels crisscrossing the area, remnants of work by miners from decades ago. Heading down into the mine revealed just how tough the operation was. The quartz vein they were working sat 85 feet below the surface. The narrow tunnels felt cramped, the air was stale, and loose rocks were a constant hazard. Freddie noticed how they'd shored up sections of the mine with wooden cribbing, but it didn't seem like enough. He wasn't thrilled with what he saw. The operation was grinding to a halt with minimal gold coming out. The reality hit hard. This setup wasn't making money. While Chad's team worked hard, hauling out buckets of rock by hand and chiseling every piece out of the walls, the gold content just didn't justify the effort. Freddie's advice? This mine wasn't the answer. Moving on, Chad showed Freddie another mine on the property. This one had a labyrinth of tunnels stretching deep into the earth, some up to 300 feet down and chasing veins up to 12 feet wide. Back in its heyday, it had produced 67,000 ounces of gold, worth a staggering $127 million in today's money. The scale of the operation was massive, but it came with equally massive costs. Freddie's skepticism grew as he explored. Mining underground at this scale required significant investment, and the numbers didn't seem to add up. Half an ounce of gold per ton might turn a profit, but anything less was a losing game. He wasn't convinced the payoff would match the expense. Then came the twist, the ore dumps. These were piles of rock discarded by miners of the past, deemed not rich enough to process with their limited technology. Freddie's eyes lit up at the sight of one such pile. Measuring around 100 feet long and averaging 20 feet wide, it held 40,000 tons of material just sitting there.
The biggest help that we helped these guys with was turning them into prospector miners. Now they've got a vision. Now they've got a goal. Now they understand the lay of their land. And the sky's the limit for these guys.
Back in the day, miners had high-graded only the richest ore, leaving behind what they thought wasn't worth the trouble. Freddie's theory was simple. Modern equipment and techniques might reveal gold in this waste that was left behind. With a few tests, his hunch proved correct. Even if the ore averaged just a quarter ounce per ton, the potential was jaw-dropping. An estimated 10,000 ounces of gold worth $17 million. All of this right on the surface, with no need to dive back into the dangerous tunnels. Excitement rippled through the team as the realization sunk in. This ore dump wasn't just a potential moneymaker. It could completely change the game. Running tests and setting up a processing operation would take work, but it seemed worth the effort. The numbers Freddie calculated had everyone buzzing. If each ton of ore brought in $300, Chad's team could potentially earn $3,000 a day processing this material. The plan became clear. Focus on the ore dumps and leave the underground operations behind, at least for now. With proper sampling, milling, and recovery, this surface material could provide the capital needed to fund further exploration of the property. Chad's dream of making the mine profitable suddenly felt within reach, fueled by Freddie's insight and expertise. The excitement was palpable as the team began testing the dump material, milling it into a fine powder to extract the gold. The results were promising. Even a small pan showed visible gold, boosting morale and solidifying the plan to shift focus. This discovery felt like a lifeline, potentially saving not just the current season, but ensuring a bright future for Chad's operation. Freddie's perspective and the modern equipment he brought to the table turned what seemed like a losing battle into a golden opportunity. The key now was execution, ensuring that every ounce of potential from the ore dumps was maximized. Chad and his team felt the weight of the challenge, but were ready to face it head-on. With hard work, careful sampling, and a bit of luck, this could be the breakthrough they desperately needed. The milling process began with crushing the ore into smaller pieces. The material was run through a machine designed to grind it into a fine powder, separating the gold particles from the rock. It was an intensive process that required precision, but the team's efforts paid off.
I can tell they have to work their butts off to get that ore out of that mine. Hand chisel each piece of rock out to get it out of there to find out if it has enough gold in it.
The recovered gold content from the initial test suggested a recovery rate of 87% on the first pass. This was an encouraging figure, showing the potential of the material to yield significant returns. The ore dump's size and composition meant there was no shortage of material to process. 40,000 tons of discarded rock offered plenty of opportunities to uncover gold. Every bucket of material hauled and processed brought the team closer to their goal. While the work was demanding, the potential payoff kept them motivated. The history of the claim added another layer of intrigue. Decades ago, miners lacked the tools and knowledge available today. Their inability to extract all the gold from the rock left behind a wealth of material that modern methods could now capitalize on. This mine wasn't just a source of gold. It was a testament to how far mining technology had come. Freddie continued to oversee operations, offering guidance and ensuring the team worked efficiently. Sampling remained a critical part of the process. Each test provided valuable data about the quality of the material, helping the team focus their efforts on the most promising areas of the dump. Consistency was key, and Freddie's expertise ensured that the team stayed on track. The potential revenue from the ore dump was significant. At an average of $300 per ton, the team estimated they could generate up to $120,000 in a month if they processed 40 tons per day. This influx of cash would provide much-needed breathing room for the operation, allowing them to invest in better equipment and expand their efforts. The scale of the operation was daunting, but the team's determination never wavered. Every member played a crucial role, from hauling material to operating the milling equipment. The camaraderie among the team members created an environment where everyone felt invested in the success of the project. Each day brought new challenges, but the shared goal kept them moving forward. The process of extracting gold from the ore required multiple steps.
Right now, these guys are deep in the hole cost-wise. If all their mines are similar to this one, then they won't be in business very long.
After crushing and milling, the material was run through a sluice box to separate the gold particles. The sluice used water and gravity to capture the heavier gold while allowing the lighter material to wash away. It was a tried and true method that had been used for centuries, but modern equipment made it more efficient than ever. The gold collected from the sluice was then cleaned and refined. This involved removing any remaining impurities to ensure the highest possible purity. The final product was small but valuable, a tangible reward for the team's hard work. Each gram of gold represented countless hours of labor and determination. As the operation progressed, the team became more adept at managing the challenges of processing the ore. Equipment breakdowns and other setbacks were inevitable, but they approached each obstacle with a problem-solving mindset. Freddie's experience proved invaluable in these moments, offering solutions that kept the operation running smoothly. The potential of the ore dump extended beyond the immediate financial gain. Success here could provide the foundation for future exploration and development on the property. With enough capital, the team could investigate other areas of the claim, potentially uncovering additional sources of gold. The dream of transforming the mine into a profitable venture felt closer than ever. The surrounding area's history added another layer of significance to the operation. The claim was part of a region known for its rich gold deposits, attracting prospectors for over a century. The old workings and discarded ore told the story of those who had come before, their successes and struggles shaping the landscape. Now Freddie and Chad's team were adding their chapter to this ongoing saga. The scale of the ore dump was staggering. Measuring approximately 100 feet long, 20 feet wide, and containing 40,000 tons of material, it represented a massive undertaking. Processing even a fraction of this material could yield significant returns, making it a high-stakes endeavor. Each day of work brought the team closer to unlocking the dump's full potential. Does the legacy of past prospectors inspire the pursuit of wealth, or does it perpetuate environmental exploitation?
Holy Tony, this isn't what I expected to see.
A chain broke, tipped off, fell off on the high side, as you can see. So go figure that one out, right?
Tony Beets pooped his pants once he scaled his gold. What made him cry out, "This is unacceptable." As the season goes on, it looks like big changes are coming to his life. It's still not clear whether these changes will be good or bad in the long run. What is certain, though, is that Tony Beets, a legendary gold miner known for his unwavering drive and toughness, will use new methods to find amazing things.
So what are you looking for?
I got a bunch of pay to sluice and our water license is up next year, so I'm looking for a plant. I thought I'd give you a try, see if you had anything kicking around.
Get ready to see why Tony Beets is so furious about this new find that can be a life-changing opportunity. Shane, who's got a project and needs a big old machine to help him out. Shane's got his eye on a kiwi wash plant he saw by the road. This thing's seen better days, rusting away, but Shane's the kind of guy who sees potential where others see scrap. So he gets in touch with Tony, known far and wide as the king of getting things done, no matter what folks actually call him. Tony's all about helping out and making a bit of cash on the side, so he agrees to sell the plant to Shane. The plan? Get that gold hiding in the ground. Seems simple enough, right? Load up the plant, bring it over to Shane's place, and bam, gold. Except, things never go quite that smoothly. Getting the plant moved turns into a bit of an adventure. It's a massive 25-ton beast that's been sitting idle, gathering rust. Tony rounds up his crew, ready for a straightforward job, or so they thought. But as soon as they start moving, things get complicated. A chain breaks, the plant tips, and suddenly what should have been a quick job doubles in time. There's a lot riding on this, about 300 grand's worth of opportunity lying on its side. Despite the hiccup, Tony's crew is unflappable. They come up with a plan to right the fallen giant, involving loaders and some tricky maneuvering. It's a tense moment, the kind where you hold your breath and hope everything works out, and by some miracle it does. They manage to get the plant back on its feet without turning it into a pile of scrap metal.
Okay, hold it. Gentlemen, slowly let it out.
Next up, they've got to get this hulking piece of machinery to Shane's claim without any more drama. The journey's tense, with everyone aware of what's at stake. But they pull it off, and the plant arrives at its new home, ready for action. Shane's got big plans. He's aiming for a gold haul that'll make all this effort worth it. Tony, ever the optimist, is betting on Shane to make it happen, despite the setbacks. And there are always setbacks. Machines break down, plans go awry, but it's all in a day's work for these guys. In the midst of all this, there's a sense of camaraderie. They're all in it together, facing the challenges head-on. Whether it's dealing with mechanical failures or ensuring the plant's safe arrival, everyone's got a role to play. And when things go south, they rally together, finding solutions and making it work. You wouldn't think something so small could cause such a fuss, but in the world of heavy machinery, it's a big deal. This little ring, costing next to nothing, nearly derailed Tony's operation by causing a hydraulic fluid leak. But with a bit of know-how and some elbow grease, the crew gets things back on track, proving once again that it's the little things that count. With the machinery drama behind them, Tony's focus shifts back to gold. After a week of setbacks, including frozen ground and a paused operation, it's time to see if their efforts have turned into gold. The anticipation is thick as they weigh their find, only to discover it's not as much as they'd hoped. It's a tough pill to swallow, but Tony knows that the ups and downs are part of the game. You've got to take the bad days with the good to appreciate the full journey. Despite the disappointment, Tony's not one to dwell. He's got his eye on the prize, a 5,000-ounce goal. The journey there is filled with more challenges, including a critical water pump breakdown just when they hit a promising pay streak.
But at one point, you're going to have to say goodbye and get the new one in there. We'll luckily have a new pump inside.
Timing is everything, and this hiccup couldn't have come at a worse time. But Tony and his crew are all about solving problems. With some creative rigging and a little bit of luck, they managed to get the new mega pump up and running, ensuring the gold doesn't stop flowing.
Take it, Shane, put it from here to there. I want to get the out of here.
The crew's resilience pays off as they hit a gold streak in the 80-pup cut, proving that perseverance and hard work can overcome almost any obstacle. Even with the setbacks, they're pulling in impressive amounts of gold, keeping them on track toward their season goal. It's a testament to the idea that success isn't just about avoiding problems, it's about how you deal with them when they arise. As the season progresses, Tony's operation becomes a well-oiled machine, with each member of the crew playing their part to perfection. Mike steps up, giving Tony more breathing room and proving that a strong team is the key to success. They even expand their operation by leasing ground to the Winchester boys, adding another layer to their gold mining empire. For Tony and his crew, it's all in a day's work. The challenges they face, from mechanical failures to the unpredictable nature of gold mining, are just part of the journey. With each problem solved and each ounce of gold unearthed, they're reminded of why they do what they do. It's not just about the gold, it's about the adventure, the teamwork, and the satisfaction of turning obstacles into opportunities. Owen, a retired business owner, and Bushard, a former logger, have thrown themselves into the gold mining game, leaving behind their old lives for a shot at striking it rich on the so-called cursed cut. This infamous plot of land has a bad rep due to a string of failures, and it's been left untouched since the Beets family gave up on it. But John and Bushard, they don't buy into the whole curse thing. They dive into their work, only to hit a snag pretty quickly. The black sand in their sluice box is like cement, clogging up everything and making it impossible to catch gold efficiently. Every miner's nightmare, right? Their production takes a nosedive, and they're forced to do cleanups way more often than they should. It's a gut punch, especially when they're trying to hit a 200-ounce season target. Enter Tony with a game-changing suggestion.
We need to get that pump going ASAP.
Swap out the clogged riffles for hydraulic ones. These new riffles use water jets to keep the gold settled while flushing out the pesky black sand. It's a simple fix, but it promises to make a world of difference. John gets to welding, crafting the new hydraulic riffle frame out of tubing and steel plates. The black sand problem? Solved. More gold, less downtime. Just what the doctor ordered. This fix is a breakthrough for the crew. They can now process up to 1,200 yards of pay, instead of the measly 300 to 400 yards before the switch. It's a game changer, giving them a fighting chance to reach their season goal. Tony checks in, pleased as punch with the results. The new setup is working wonders, extending run times and, ultimately, upping their gold haul. Despite the progress, challenges keep coming. A conveyor belt tears, throwing another wrench into the works. It's a significant setback, and there's no easy fix. The belt can't be patched up, it needs a complete replacement. Adjusting the belt and dealing with misaligned rollers add to the day's headaches. Just when they thought they were getting ahead, the machinery had other ideas. But that's the life of a gold miner, isn't it? For every step forward, there's always a hurdle waiting. Yet, it's the victories, big and small, that keep them going. The successful switch to hydraulic riffles, the increase in gold haul, and the sheer determination to overcome whatever the cursed cut throws at them. John, Bushard, and their crew show the true spirit of gold mining: resilience in the face of adversity, innovation when faced with challenges, and an unwavering belief in the pursuit of gold. No curse, just hard work, a bit of luck, and a whole lot of grit. The crew is dealing with a conveyor belt that's seen better days. It's been worked hard, and the shock-absorbing rubber meant to protect it has worn down, leaving the belt vulnerable to damage from the heavy rocks. The impact bed underneath, designed to cushion the blow, is worn down to its core. It's clear, a shutdown is inevitable to replace the worn parts. Despite the urgency, getting new parts isn't quick due to supply chain delays, setting them back a potential $250,000 in lost gold. Kevin jumps into action, removing the damaged parts.
So we fixed the rip in the belt, but she's still tracking over. That's probably because we
don't have replacements on hand. It's a frustrating wait for the new parts to arrive, but once they do, the crew gets to work. They're racing against time, aware that every moment the plant isn't running, they're losing out on precious gold. Tony, ever the micromanager, keeps a close eye on the progress, pushing for a quick turnaround. The new impact bed and rollers are installed, and finally, the plant is back up and running. The relief is palpable, but the pressure is on to make up for lost time. Maintenance is crucial, yet it's a double-edged sword, necessary for long-term operation, but costly in the short term. As winter looms, the crew knows time is not on their side. They turn their attention to a promising area in the 80 pup cut, previously abandoned due to flooding. Mike proposes building a drainage system to access the submerged pay dirt. It's a daunting task, but Tony is all in, directing the team to build a new pond to manage the water. The goal is ambitious and the timeline is tight, but the potential payoff in gold makes it worth the effort. To expedite the process, Tony invests in new equipment. Belly scrapers attached to rock trucks, a strategic move to build dikes and roads more efficiently. These machines are game changers, capable of spreading and flattening gravel, potentially saving hours of work and allowing the team to focus on gold mining. It's a smart play, demonstrating Tony's willingness to invest in the right tools for the job. After a heart-stopping moment where Tony's new belly scraper nearly causes a mishap with Mike due to its blind spots, they manage to pull through unscathed, proving yet again that the mining life is anything but predictable. With the flooded 80 pup cut now draining, the team gathers with bated breath to weigh their latest haul from the blue cut expansion, hoping to stay on track for Tony's ambitious 5,000-ounce goal. The tension in the air is palpable as they begin to count the gold. To everyone's relief and excitement, they smash their weekly target, hauling in a whopping 456 ounces of gold, worth a staggering $766,000. This significant find brings their season total to an impressive 2,054.7 ounces, valued at over $4.4 million. It's a moment of triumph that reinvigorates the entire crew, fueling their determination to tackle the 80 pup cut with renewed vigor and optimism. As they push forward, the narrative takes an unexpected turn. While chasing the elusive white channel pay in the drained 80 pup cut, Tony stumbles upon something extraordinary, a mammoth tusk protruding from the bank.
Look at them. Tusks is not that big of a discovery, but if it is something
This discovery isn't just a minor detour, it's a potential link to the ancient past, a reminder of the land's rich history buried beneath layers of dirt and time. The find sparks excitement among the crew, drawing parallels to a recent groundbreaking discovery in the region, a mummified baby woolly mammoth, more than 30,000 years old, found near Paradise Hill. Such finds are not just significant for their rarity and scientific value, they're a testament to the unpredictable nature of gold mining, where every shovel of dirt holds the potential for both wealth and wonders. As the Beets crew contemplates their next steps, they face a dilemma. The presence of the mammoth tusk, potentially attached to more of the ancient creature, presents a unique opportunity. It's a chance to contribute to the understanding of the Earth's prehistoric past, a diversion from their gold-focused endeavors that could lead to fame and recognition beyond the mining community. Tony is thinking about calling in experts to dig up the rest of the mammoth. As they stand at the crossroads of history and commerce, the crew is wondering how much their finds are really worth. Under the rough landscape of the Yukon is gold, but also something else of great value. Facing a halt in their mining operations to accommodate the excavation of a historic mammoth tusk, Tony and his crew are at a pivotal moment in their season. The discovery prompts a temporary stop to all mining activities in the 80 pup cut, a necessary pause to allow a team of paleontologists to examine and possibly unearth more remains. This decision, while crucial for scientific discovery, puts Tony's plan to stockpile white channel pay on hold, adding tension to an already tight deadline. The paleontologists' arrival brings a mix of anticipation and concern. Their investigation reveals a 10-foot-long tusk, indicating the mammoth was a 30-year-old male. Although no mummified remains are found this time, the tusk itself is a significant find, offering a rare glimpse into the life of these ancient giants that once roamed the land over 30,000 years ago. With the paleontologists giving the all-clear mining operations resume in the 80 pup cut, just in time before the blue cut pay dirt runs dry, it's a race against the clock as the crew works to make up for lost time and hit their ambitious gold target for the season. Meanwhile, on Tony Beets' Hunker Cut, the Winchester crew, led by Jason Fraser, is also feeling the pressure of the approaching winter. They're nearing the end of their first season in the Yukon, with a goal to haul in 200 ounces of gold. However, with just 106 ounces collected so far and the end of their pay dirt in sight, the stakes couldn't be higher. Their operation faces a critical setback when a chain drive on their wash plant breaks, threatening to halt production completely. The crew scrambles to fix the chain, a task that proves both delicate and dangerous. With quick thinking and a bit of luck, They manage to repair the chain, but the incident costs them valuable time. Time is running out, and every moment of downtime is a missed opportunity to inch closer to their goal. The Winchester crew must now push their limits and their equipment to the brink to achieve their 200-ounce target before the harsh Yukon winter shuts them down for good. Tony Beets is working hard to make money, but now he has a big problem. With the discovery of a Mammoth tusk temporarily halting mining in the 80 pup cut, and now a critical hole in the trauml's plate threatening to shut down operations entirely, the pressure is mounting. Every moment of downtime is a moment lost in the race against the encroaching winter, which could end the mining season prematurely. The Winchester crew, on the other hand, faces their own set of trials, but manages to pull through with a mix of perseverance and luck. Their final gold weigh-in surpasses their season goal, marking a successful first season in the Yukon despite the obstacles they encountered. Their triumph, however, is tempered by the realization that there's always a landlord waiting for his cut, a reminder of the financial realities that loom over the dream of striking it rich. Back at Tony's operation, the discovery that the trauml, their money-making machine, is compromised highlights the consequences of neglecting maintenance. The realization that they should have addressed the trauml's issues years ago is a hard pill to swallow. Now, with the end of the season rapidly approaching, Tony and his crew are forced to scramble for solutions. In a bid to keep the gold flowing, Tony considers reviving the Moose Creek trauml, an alternative wash plant that had been abandoned after a disastrous first run. The decision to try and bring the Moose Creek trauml back to life is a gamble, but it's one Tony is willing to take to avoid falling short of his 5,000-ounce season target. The efforts to repair the main trauml and get the Moose Creek trauml operational underscore the constant balancing act in gold mining between risk and reward, and the importance of adaptability and quick thinking. As Tony's crew races against time and the elements, the stakes couldn't be higher. Success hinges not just on hard work and determination, but on the ability to overcome unexpected setbacks and keep pushing forward, no matter the odds. The battle against nature and machinery continues as Tony Beets and his crew face one hurdle after another in their relentless pursuit of gold. With the mining season rapidly coming to a close and winter breathing down their necks, every setback feels more acute, every victory more vital. The latest challenge comes when Cousin Mike gets an excavator stuck in a settling pond, a mishap that halts operations and threatens to derail their progress towards the 5,000-ounce goal. The situation is dire, with water levels rising and the clock ticking. Tony's solution is as bold as it is risky, bringing in heavy reinforcements, including the colossal D11 dozer, to construct a ramp and pull the excavator out. The operation is a delicate balance of power, precision, and patience, a testament to the crew's ingenuity and determination. Despite the setbacks, the crew's efforts continue to pay off. The 80 pup cut, a consistent performer throughout the season, delivers an impressive haul of gold, pushing Tony closer to his ambitious target. The latest weigh-in is a moment of triumph, a tangible reward for the crew's hard work and perseverance. With nearly 500 ounces of gold added to their tally, they edge closer to the finish line, their spirits buoyed by the promise of meeting, or even surpassing, their season goal. Yet, as always, the joy of success is tempered by the realities of gold mining. The weather remains an unpredictable and formidable opponent, with heavy rains complicating operations and threatening to wash away their hard-earned gains. The crew is reminded that in the Yukon, the battle is never truly won until the last ounce of gold is safely weighed and accounted for. Tony's leadership and the crew's unwavering commitment shine through these challenges. Their ability to adapt, to rise above each obstacle, speaks to the heart of what it means to be a gold miner in one of the world's most unforgiving landscapes. As they push forward, the goal of 5,000 ounces within reach, Tony and his team embody the spirit of resilience, the unyielding drive to chase dreams against all odds. As new faces in town, they embody the dreams of countless aspirants drawn to the allure of striking it rich, aware that the path is fraught with challenges, yet undeterred in their pursuit. Setting up the Winchester wash plant is a testament to their resolve and ingenuity. The plant, a dual-barrel trauml designed and built by John, is a marvel of homegrown engineering. However, the reality of gold mining soon sets in as they encounter unexpected hurdles. The placement of the sluice boxes, crucial for catching gold, becomes a puzzle due to the plant's unique design. But instead of faltering, John rises to the occasion, crafting an extension to the diversion chute on site, showcasing the resourcefulness that mining demands. Their operation, though small compared to Tony Beets, is driven by a profound sense of purpose and a DIY ethos that sees them through the toughest of times. Unlike larger operations that can call in mechanics or service trucks at a moment's notice, the Winchester crew's progress hinges on their ability to troubleshoot and repair on the fly. This self-reliance is not just a choice, but a necessity, imbuing their journey with a sense of authenticity and grit. When they finally run pay through Winchester, the anticipation is palpable. Despite the so-called curse of the cut they're working, their optimism never wanes. The belief that hard work and perseverance will pay off shines through as they watch the first scoop of pay dirt enter the plant. Their determination is a counter to any talk of curses. They know that success in gold mining is not about luck, but about effort, strategy, and a bit of engineering savvy. The first gold weigh-in, though modest, is a significant milestone for the Winchester crew. It validates their hard work and proves that their homemade plant can indeed catch gold. This initial success is more than just a financial boost. It's a morale booster, a tangible sign that their dreams are within reach. Tony's approval and encouragement further cement their resolve to continue refining their process, aiming for greater yields as they dig deeper. Tony's got this place called Paradise Hill, and it's like a giant sandbox for grown-ups, except instead of toys, they've got huge machines. They're hunting for gold, not the kind you find in a jewelry store, but the kind that's hidden deep in the ground, mixed with dirt and rocks. Think of it as a treasure hunt, but on a massive scale. So, Tony remembers this spot on Paradise Hill where, about 30 years ago, they had to dump a bunch of useless dirt to make room for their gold digging. This spot is now sitting on top of what Tony thinks could be a huge pile of gold. It's like he buried a treasure chest and forgot about it. To find out if he's right, Tony brings in a big machine, an excavator, to dig through the mountain of dirt they dumped there years ago. He's looking for a special kind of dirt that's lighter in color because that's where the gold is usually hiding. But digging through all that dirt isn't easy or cheap. Tony's betting that the cost of digging will be worth it if they find gold. They start digging and find some promising signs, but it's not guaranteed they'll find what they're looking for. It's a bit like fishing. Sometimes you catch a big one, sometimes you go home empty-handed. Tony finds a small layer of the good dirt, but it's hard to tell how much gold is there until they dig more. Now, Tony's daughter Monica and her friend Ruby are helping out. They've got a big job ahead of them, moving all that dirt to see if the treasure beneath is worth the effort. Meanwhile, one of their trucks gets stuck, adding to the challenge. After all that work, Tony and his team gather to see if their gamble paid off. They've spent a lot of money and time digging up this piggy bank cut, hoping the gold they find will cover their costs and then some. They weigh the gold and find out they've made a bit of profit, but not as much as Tony hoped. It turns out that gambling on hidden gold isn't a sure thing, but Tony's okay with that. He knows that searching for gold is always a bit of a gamble, and this time, at least they didn't lose. In the end, it's all part of the adventure for Tony and his team. They might not have struck it rich this time, but there's always another spot on Paradise Hill to explore. Who knows what they'll find next? Tony and his crew face a mechanical behemoth. Their trauml, a crucial piece of equipment in their quest for gold, has seen better days. Think of a trauml as a giant washing machine for dirt, but instead of clothes, it's sifting for gold. After a decade without a hiccup, it's finally showing signs of wear and tear. The mission? To dissect this giant to see if it can be mended. The crew, led by Tony, starts with the basics, moving stuff out of the way to get to the heart of the trauml. They remove the conveyor belt with some coordinated shouting and precise maneuvers, akin to a high-stakes game of operation, but with massive machinery. Next up is the trauml's barrel, a 40-ton giant that hasn't budged in over 10 years. It's a task that screams for patience and a gentle touch, with the crew carefully navigating the behemoth down to earth. Once grounded, the true extent of the damage is revealed. The prognosis isn't good. Cracks and worn-out parts are threatening to turn the trauml into a colossal paperweight. Gavin, a key crew member, breaks the news to Tony. painting a picture of a trauml on its last legs. With time running out on the mining season, they're faced with a dilemma. Attempt a quick fix with the limited manpower available, or call it quits on the trauml for the season. They decide there's not enough time or hands to tackle the repairs. As the season wraps up, the atmosphere shifts from the tension of machinery woes to the anticipation of the final gold weigh-in. Ruby and cousin Mike, who've been with the Beets family for a good chunk of the mining journey, join in for what they hope will be a season-ending highlight. There's banter about whether their efforts this season will secure them a spot for the next year, with Tony playfully doubting their chances. The final weigh-in is more than just a routine check. It's the culmination of months of hard work, sweat, and probably a fair bit of swearing. Tony's last-minute gamble on a spot they nicknamed the glory hole hangs in the balance. As the scales tip, the numbers climb higher and higher, surpassing expectations and setting a new record for the team. They've not only hit their goal, but smashed it, ending the season on a high note with a staggering $9 million in gold. The celebration is short but sweet, with thoughts already turning to next season's repairs and plans. The windfall from the glory hole offers a financial cushion for the necessary fixes and a bit of dreaming about how to spend the surplus. A trip to Mexico is on the cards, providing a well-deserved break from the cold and a chance to bask in their success. Reflecting on the season, Kevin and Mike, the dynamic duo behind the operations, express satisfaction with their achievements. From managing the cuts to tackling the mechanical beasts of the mining world, they've proven their mettle. As they look forward to warmer climates, the season closes on a note of optimism, camaraderie, and the ever-present lure of gold. For nearly 4 decades, this gold-seeking veteran has been on a mission to extract every ounce of gold from the Yukon's rich lands. With gold prices hitting the roof, Tony's eyes are set on a massive $16 million jackpot. His plan? To dig up a whopping 9,000 ounces of gold from 2 of his prime locations, the Indian River operation and the Paradise Hill claims. The story unfolds on Paradise Hill, where Tony is about to embark on a monumental task. He's not messing around this year, rolling out the big guns, an 850-horsepower D11 dozer and a 100-ton 950 excavator, the largest in the Yukon. His target? An 8-acre cut brimming with gold nuggets, a treasure trove he stumbled upon 30 years ago but couldn't fully explore due to the lack of heavy-duty machinery. Fast forward to today, with gold prices soaring, Tony's mantra is clear: strike while the iron is hot. The goal is ambitious: to move mountains of dirt in record time. In the past, reaching the gold-rich layer, buried 80 feet below, would have taken weeks. Now Tony aims to break through in just 5 days, thanks to his mechanical beasts. But as always, the path to gold is fraught with challenges. The team hits a wall, quite literally, a frozen barrier that refuses to budge. Time is of the essence, and every moment spent wrestling with the permafrost is time lost. In a desperate call for help, Tony is informed about the icy obstacle halting progress. His solution? To deploy the D11 dozer, a $2.7 million colossus, equipped with a 10-ton ripper shank to tackle the frozen fortress. The plan is as daring as it is dangerous. Tony, undeterred by the risks, positions the D11 at the precipice of a 40-foot drop. With precision and power, he drives the ripper into the icy clutches of the permafrost, tearing it apart to reveal the sought-after pay dirt beneath. Tony's bold strategy pays off. As the permafrost crumbles, Ruby and the team are able to access and remove the valuable pay dirt. This breakthrough gives Tony a significant advantage, allowing him to start processing gold a full month earlier than the previous year. Tony's operation hits a snag. A crucial water pump breaks down, halting the gold extraction process for 2 days. This isn't just any pump, we're talking about an 11-ton mega pump vital for sluicing operations. Without it, there's no way to wash the dirt, and consequently, no gold. The drama unfolds as Tony and his crew race against time to get the new pump up and running. The urgency is palpable. They've just struck gold in what they call the 80 pup cut, a promising site for their white channel pay, and every moment the pump is down is gold lost. The mission to install the new pump is no small feat. It's an all-hands-on-deck situation as the team maneuvers the heavy machinery into place. They rely on their toys, large pieces of equipment like excavators and dozers, to lift and shift the pump to its required position. There's a sense of camaraderie and a touch of humor as they work, acknowledging the absurdity of the heavy lifting involved. Once the pump is positioned, the next challenge is to fire it up, but it's not as straightforward as they hoped. The pump's engine refuses to start, adding tension to an already tight situation. They try everything: fuel pressure checks, cranking the engine, even spraying ether into the air intake in an attempt to kickstart it. It's a frustrating ordeal, with Tony resorting to a bit of persuasion to coax the engine to life. Finally, with some technical adjustments and a lot of determination, the engine roars to life, much to everyone's relief. It's a moment of triumph, signaling not just the operational pump, but also the resilience and ingenuity of Tony's team. The pump is more than just a piece of equipment. It's the lifeline of their operation, crucial for meeting Tony's ambitious goal of 5,000 ounces for the season. The successful repair is a testament to the team's ability to overcome obstacles, a necessary trait in the unpredictable world of gold mining. As the pump gets to work, the episode shifts to the weigh-in, a moment of truth for the team. Despite the setbacks, the haul is impressive, bringing their season total to over 3,000 ounces. It's a morale booster, reinforcing the belief in the rich potential of the 80 pup cut. Tony and his crew are optimistic, ready to face whatever challenges come their way with a mix of experience, teamwork, and a bit of good old-fashioned luck. Alright, that's pretty much it for this video. Hit that subscribe button for more videos like this.